It is National Teacher Appreciation Day. I love this time of the year, not just because of all the delicious goodies and food and all that I get, but also it's just an amazing time to reconnect with former students, former teachers, and also just to get rejuvenated, right? It's May, it's AP season, it's kind of the last leg, the grind of the last part of fourth quarter, and just all the kind words and things that you hear from students and the ways that you're impacting them and the way they're impacting you is really energizer. But it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I know I have my Inspiring Educator series, and I'm grateful for all of those educators that continue to inspire and influence me. But I want to give a shout out to I'm going to say the 5 educators in my high school experience that had the largest impact on me as a person, as an educator, as a learner. So first is Sandy Midgley. I had Sandy when for junior year and senior year. She had the unfortunate task of teaching me both U.S. history and government. Now, if you remember from my story, I had a child halfway through junior year and was working a full-time job junior and senior year and trying to raise a family, and school was not exactly my priority. And yet I loved history. I loved government, I loved those topics, but I just really couldn't give it my all. And I was also a huge smartass. And in spite of me being a constant, I believe, it's funny, I talked to her now and she's like, oh, you were great. And I was a smartass. I disrupted class. I was not there, but yet she saw past all that and just continued to be a great educator. She just continued to have great lessons, to make things relevant, to really challenge us and me personally, and to believe in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And I'm grateful that she's one of the reasons why I chose to be a social studies teacher, because of all the social studies teachers I had, most often they were coaches who had to teach because that's what you have to do, but they weren't really good teachers. I didn't really care about teaching. They cared about coaching. And I wanted to be the type of history teacher that values what matters and values students. And so thank you for being it to me. I think you know that. I've already told you, but now it's out for YouTube. Kara Smith was my speech teacher, and she's a hard ass. She demands a lot from her students, and yet she's the person who taught me that you can want a lot, and you can have high expectations for students and demand that, and yet also have a flexibility that allows students to meet your expectations, right? It's not a one and done. It's not a, this one chance. It's a, are they working towards it, and how are you going to help them get there, and how are you going to, scaffold that and get them up to that point? Her class helped me become a better public speaker as well. I never did speech or debate, but I remember when I took my speech class in college, I was training to be a preacher at that point, so public speaking is kind of the name of the game. But my professor, when I finally went back to college, started grading me on my own curve, because it was an intro to speech class, and they felt like I was advanced. And so I remember I got a B on a speech, and somebody else got an A, and I just was questioning why. And they said that they were judging me against me, not against my peers, and that they thought that I had advanced. And I thought it was really unfair to get a B in that situation. But I think that public speaking and being able to deliver the message you want to deliver, and to be articulate, and to do it in an entertaining way and thorough way, I started to learn in Miss Smith's class. So I'm grateful for you. Oh, this video is going to be so long, I know it already. Kim Clark was my math teacher and pre-calculus, and she also just felt like was like a second mom at school. She always looked out for me, was always interested in how I was doing, was always checking in on me, really built that strong relationship that I continue to try to want to have with students, a very personal relationship that students know that you value them as a person and that you are going to be there for them and that they can talk to you. And Miss Clark was that for me. And so, I really needed that at that time. And so, thank you for inspiring me to be an educator like that. Van Troxel was my football coach. I knew Troxel for years, a weightlifting program and junior tackle football program. So I think it was like 7 years I was in his weight room. And, you kind of think like, oh, it's cliche and like coach and things like that. But he also, like, he invested in me as a person and as an athlete and helped me reach my full potential in both. He always, it was not just about like the game or just about winning. It was always about improving yourself, doing your best, working together collaboratively, and giving everything that you do 110%. And, I was glad to be able to play football under him and to learn what I learned and achieve the highest you can in high school before, giving that up to be able to be in the family. And he taught me a lot, both outside in the weight room classes, as well as in football, as well as in life. And he's always been connected with me on that as well. And then finally, my counselor, Bev Chambers. Being a teen parent is hard. And there's a lot of people that don't know what to say or how to help. And Bev Chambers went to bat and fought for me consistently, and even when I wasn't fighting for myself. I was having a really hard time towards the end of high school. I think I ended up getting a D in government, which is funny because now I can teach it. But it was a really rough go to be able to maintain working and school and family and like all that stuff and just trying to be responsible. We got a first apartment in February of our senior year, and I had rent and bills and all that. And Bev kept pushing me, and she actually got me a scholarship in spite of my mediocre academics. She like really pushed me, and I was able to get a scholarship to go to college. Now, unfortunately, I flunked out of college that first year, mostly because I quit. I just stopped going to classes and let myself fail because I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I still feel bad about that, but it opened up the opportunity for me to go to college, and it wasn't right for me at that moment. But a few years later, when I chose to go back, it completed my bachelor's, my master's degree, and now I'm an educator. And so for all 5 of you, on Teacher Appreciation Day, I'm very grateful for you. I couldn't have got where I'm at without you, and I like to think that I am, the teacher I am because of the contributions that you all made. So thank you on Teacher Appreciation Day. I hope your current students are making you feel special as well. And happy day. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow.